Welcome to Stories Across South America. I am Clara, and in today's episode, Maria takes you inside the heart of Chile's wine country, to Santa Rita Winery. With more than 145 years of history, it's a place where wine, culture, and legacy come together. And as you will hear from Elena, it's so much more than a tasting. It's a story of Chile itself. We hope you enjoyed this new episode of Stories Across South America, because to travel is more than a destination. Elena, thank you so much for joining us today on another episode of our podcast, Stories Across South America. I'm thrilled to introduce you to our community and listeners. So I'm here today with Elena. She's the Director of Corporate Affairs and Sustainability and Tourism at Santa Rita Winery in Chile. So I'm thrilled to listen to all your stories and to learn more about wines in Chile from you. So thanks again for your time today. And let's start with your why. What drew you, Elena, to work in this region in Chile and with this kind of travel experience?
Well, thank you for the invitation, Maria. Nice to be here with you. First, I'm from Spain, so my accent in English is very Spanish. And I've been in this country, in Chile, in South America, for the last 20 years. I married with a Chilean, that's the reason. And I've been always related to the wine industry, first in the government for free trade agreements and wine agreements and that kind of things, and then in the wine industry. And I should say that this is a country that has been always in the wine industry for a long time. Obviously, it's not all the European wine countries, but it's a region with a very high profile of wines and also with a wine trade that is amazing. Chile is the fourth exporter in the world in terms of the wine industry. It's the first new world wine country. So it's really a country that has been always taking care about this wine culture. So that is what I have been doing for my time in Chile.
Love and wines.
Yeah.
Okay, great, Elena. If you could bottle up the feeling a guest walks away with after visiting Santa Rita, how would you describe it?
You know, now I have to talk a little bit about Santa Rita. Well, first I have to say that I've been the last 14 years working here because really I'm in love. And I fall in love the first time that I met Santa Rita, even when I was working in the wine industry, because it's a place that it has been restoring all the heritage, and with this concept of sustainability also that preserving this heritage for future generations, that for me is very important. And adding also some of this sophisticated or more modern experience. So for me, the history, in this kind of place is one of the essence. So what happened in Santa Rita is a winery that it was founded in 1880, 145 years ago. So it's a long time. And it was the last 5 years, yes. It was in the hands of other family, that the winery was for 100 years in the same family. So at the end, obviously, like all these places start to be the family so big that, state of conservation of the place and the winery was not in the state that is now. So the last 45 years, there was a businessman, the second founder, that did all this work of restoring the place and preserving. So it was declared historical heritage in 1972. And after that, this man, Ricardo Claro, has been doing a great job. So right now you have all these places that are historical heritage. And also you have a museum with a pre-Columbian collection of 3,000 pieces of all the cultures that live close to the Andes. So really, you have it's like the Pre-Colombia Museum in Santiago. This is a broader museum. So really, you can feel the history, the culture of Chile. And for me, this is the most important thing, that there is a lot of places with wine experience or whatever, but here you can feel the Chilean wine culture. So it's a place that if you want to send somebody, because my family or my friends that came from Europe tell me, this is identity. This is Chilean identity. So it's what the people want to see because all the things that are more common or is the same every place. It has not this kind of feeling.
Yeah, it's part of the country's history for quite a long time. So it's the same family who is still running in all the
Yes,
aspects of the winery.
yes. It's the family. I mean, it's the widow of Mr. Ricardo Claro. And it's a foundation that is behind all these companies, not only this wine company. In the essence, this group and this foundation is educational and cultural. So you can really see the place and you can feel this and you can see the view of preserving things for future.
Right.
Something that when you are traveling and you want to meet places, you want to see some of history, but it's like tradition has not to be against modernization. I don't know how to say.
Yeah, it shouldn't. Yes. Yeah. So they found a good balance with tradition and keeping the new trends with wine and sustainability also. That's a good combination.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I love that. And Elena, in general, when travelers start planning and considering a visit to the wine country in Chile, they start Googling with a list of must-sees. What is something you think they often miss that it's essential?
I think for planning in Latin America and particularly in Chile also, because it's a big country. Well, this is a big region. People sometimes think that everything is closed, like because we are used more like in Europe, everything is closed, but here distances are huge. So you had to plan a little bit with careful the transport. I mean, the logistics between one place and the other. And considering that it's not so, in terms of logistics, it's not so developed. So you need to do with time and with carefully because you don't want to be in the middle of nowhere. So I think this is very important for planning in Chile. But in the case of Santa Rita, we are very close to Santiago. That is the main capital. I mean, it's the airport. We are 45 minutes from the international airport of Santiago. And it's the access, so it's not going to be any problem on that. And then when you arrive to Santa Rita, you can experience this sense of being in a village because we have in this Heritage Complex, we have the hotel. That is a boutique hotel of 16 rooms. That it was the house of the founder. It was the summer residence of the founder. So the house is from 1880. And it's surrounded by a park of 40 hectares, also from the same time. So the park is a huge park with amazing trees. So it's very special. And the hotel has together, because it was the house of the founder and he was very Catholic, it's a closed chapel that is almost, it's a big church. It's for 350 people or more, 400 people. And it's an amazing place, restoring amazing with acoustic. We are doing concerts there. So after you have the hotel, and then in the other part, you have the winery sector, where are the cellars, the old cellars, and the tour circuits, and the museum that I told you that is also there. And we have a restaurant for 120 people. So even the people that live in Santiago, is around the area, go to the winery because we have the restaurant and we have this experience by the day with this museum. So it's like in a place, you can have the wine culture, but also the culture of Chile with the museum. So you have that kind of experience, that combination.
You can stay a couple of nights at the hotel or just go for the day. And even for people who live in Santiago, this is a good place to have some good food, and connect with the traditions of Chile.
Exactly. And we have the people can do the tours and then visit the museum and have lunch in the restaurant. And the restaurant is very, with a lot of identity that sometimes in Chile, I have to say something, but they like things very, more American or very new things, modern things. So it was an issue to convince them that the value of Santa Rita was these places with identity. So the restaurant is very like colonial style, even paintings. There are amazing paintings of the Peruvian painting main houses like Cuzco, Lima, Potosí, and they are really good paintings that are in the restaurant with these colonial furnitures. And so it's like to go to the past, but with a proposal of today, so it's very nice.
No, that sounds fantastic. Elena, what do you wish more travelers knew about what it's really like to experience this place, the way you offer? I mean, I think you've been saying a lot about it.
Yeah, to say again, like the main sentence, I think, is to find the identity of the wine culture in Chile. The real identity and the history, and to give value to that, because today to preserve this kind of history and showing in this way, I think is something good, it's something that we need to continue doing, because it's very easy to lose, heritage when, sometimes, and considering that this is doing by private hands, because I always say that in Europe, to find this kind of place so big, in this state of conservation, but in private hands, it's not so easy. Usually it's governmental or something.
Yeah.
But here it has been, this effort has been doing by people that wanted to preserve this and continue doing for the future generations.
Yeah, for the love of the country, right?
Yeah, exactly. And even was one that I just something anecdote, I don't know how to say, but that it was the CEO or the general director of the Organization of Tourists, la Organización Mundial de Turismo, and he was from Georgia, Europe. He was here and he was in the Santa Rita and say, I've been in a lot of chateaus in France. I've been in a lot of museums everywhere. I've been in a lot of wineries and vineyards, and I've been in a lot of very nice boutique hotels, but I've never been in a place with all together, So it was, for us, it was like, wow, amazing that people like him can say that,
That says a lot. It's a huge congratulations.
Yeah.
And talking about the wine country in general in Chile, for those who are thinking of going and exploring the wine region and visiting some wineries and going to Santa Rita, is there a better time of the year to go? What would you consider the best time to go?
Yes. Well, I think it's the opposite. We have the season in the opposite way to the north, spring. And also, I will tell you, between September and December, it's very nice because you have a very nice spring, nice weather, and the vineyards are beautiful, so start to grow. So it's very nice. And then after summer, in March, that you have the harvest, and it's still nice weather. March, April, still April is very nice. So I think for me, it's the best because, to be February here is like to be in August in Europe. Sometimes it's too much and everybody's on holiday, so it's different. You want to live the experience with a very nice facilities and everything. I think it's a very nice spring or autumn. Or
autumn. Yes, spring and autumn in South America, which is, just the opposite in the northern hemisphere, but just in case, we say that just in case. And Elena, what do you think of what comes into your mind when you think of special touches your team brings for travelers who go and stay in Santa Rita? If they were to stay at the hotel or even do some wine tasting, what are things that they can expect?
Yeah, well, I think obviously you can have the opportunity to spend some time in the hotel because we have 160,000 visitors by year. So we have a lot of people, but we have separated the circuit and because the hotel is only 16 rooms, to have access to be in the hotel, you can have access to everything in a very exclusive way. Sometimes we have a villa, so sometimes we can get until 19. Well, of course, that can be more than 30 people, So sometimes we have families that came in group and they have this kind of experience for them, only for them, And it's amazing. And because you can feel the relaxed to be there, to be in a park that it was created more than 100 years and is in amazing condition now. And feeling that sense of the past, and that is very nice. And then obviously to do different tours with tasting, we have wines, first the best wines in Chile. We have, for example, the Casa Real, that is the name of the hotel. And it's one wine that we are dealing with. We are selling through the negociants in Bordeaux. So we are together with the Grand Cru of best wines in Europe. You can have that wine tasting with Casa Real or with the ultra premium wines that we have. So you can experience also the history of the Carmener, that is the vine variety that it was rediscovered in Chile because it was disappearing in Europe.
Mhm.
And it was in the winery that is our sister winery that is close to Santa Rita. So we have all this experience also. And you can taste different Carmeners. So you have a lot of things related to the wine and also related to the history and culture that you can do. And the best thing, I should tell you that the people, because I think the best thing the best thing is that we start from house. So I really want to convince every people that works with us that they need to feel, to love the place, to feel like Santa Ritano, we say, because it's true. We are doing something that is going to be considered in the future. So they are part of them. So the team is always trying to give that, to project that feeling to the visitors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the team is part of the history. I love that what you say. They, should be also proud and be passionate about the history, the wine, the place in general. All of them are part of the small touches that they can bring to the experience, right?
Yeah. The sense of pride, you say, the sense of pride is very important. And we have in sustainability, we have a lot of projects that we are doing about that. That is in programs of territorial valorization, not only with the people that is working in Santa Rita, but with the communities. Because right now you have this trend that the people is moving to the cities and they don't give the value to these kind of places that are in the countryside area. You need to convince them to give the sense of pride of the region that they are living in. So we are working with the schools and the kids that are there because sometimes the family work in the winery, but they don't have this sense of pride of the place. So we are working with them.
Mm-hmm. Talking about small touches, what kind of guests thrive the most in Santa Rita?
You mean what are the main things that maybe they're going to be surprised?
Yeah, yes. I'm thinking like travelers who are looking for reconnect as a family or couples who are looking to enjoy a relaxed atmosphere and learn about the wine. What kind of guests would normally would enjoy this experience?
Yeah, usually we have this, a lot of couples, people that are wine travelers. They want to go in different wine regions, having the experience of wine and history. So we have a lot of people from Europe, from United States that are doing this wine trip in Chile. So obviously they want to go to the place that is more known for us, this Chilean identity. So, and history. So that kind of people that is going to be relaxed in the hotel or even during the day, in the winery, to having this restaurant that is with this sense of the past. And for families, we have been doing a lot. People that want to celebrate, 50 years of the grandma or of being married, the grandparents. So, and they go and they have all this wine tasting together. And even they can do it in a winemaker experience that we have. One of the experience that we offer for our visitors is that they can do their own wine in groups. So it's very funny for people. So I think it's but it has to be people that wants to have a space very private and very, with a lot of history. It's not this kind of places with a lot of people at the same time. Even that we have a lot of visitors because it's very big, the area, and we have these two separate things. You never see so much people at the same time. So if you like to be more relaxed in this kind of places, if you are looking for an experience very, with a lot of people, very, intense, I think it's not.
No, this is more exclusive, more private, and also something quite unique,
Exactly.
like something that you won't find anywhere else. So I suppose for travelers who are exploring other wine countries in other places in other countries, they won't find something like Santa Rita.
Really, really. I say, and I say not because I'm not Chilean, so I can say like Spanish, I say,
Yeah.
hey, it's an amazing place. And I work there. Sometimes I go every day and I still take photos, It's amazing.
So what do you think will surprise people in this region, Elena?
The beauty of the place, really, the beauty of the historical place, to see how can be a place conserved in time, that it's something that the people say, wow, this is not normal, I think it's one of the things. And then this sense of cultural base, very, very strong, and all the heritage that we have, it has been restoring with a very careful, with professional people, even the chapel, it's amazing. And we found something that we're going to learn in the future that is an amazing thing is that we have a door in the chapel that it has with the lithophanies that are porcelain. How do you say it? That's lucida. I mean, it's that when you turn on the light, you can see the painting or wherever in the porcelain with the light in the back, So it's like, it was the pre-photography,
Yeah.
It was positive and negative, and it was only developed in Europe between 1825 and 1865 in the big porcelain manufacturer of Europe. We found this collection it was there, but we didn't know the origin, and it came from the manufacturer of porcelain of Berlin. That is still a porcelain manufactured today. KPN, it's called. And we have all the traceability of each piece of these lithophanies. So now we have the collection, and we missed, there was 3 that were missed. So I found in some antique markets in different parts in Europe, the pieces. And now we have the 15 pieces in this store. Amazing.
Wow.
Lithophany store. This is going to be something unique for the people.
That's amazing. And so you keep, let's say, this artistic side of the wine as well.
Yeah, because, in those days, last century, 19th century, when they did these big houses, they were doing with the concept of aesthetics and art. It's very, amazing. So now it has more value because it's 145 years. And if you can conserve it and show it in the way that it was, it's unique.
Unique. Well, I was going to ask you, Elena, to summarize this conversation and thank you again for joining. What is next for you and the team? What can we expect to see? And we should keep an eye on Santa Rita. Is there anything else that you and the team are working on and related to the wine, to the history?
Well, I already did the spoiler because it was a porcelain door,
No.
We are working on that. And I think during 25 years, we will be able to show to the visitors in this perfect condition, this door. And it's inside of the chapel. So it's going to be a very important moment for us because we have been like 6 years working on this. With science people in different parts in the world, in Spain, in the United States. Well, even the first museum of the lithophanies is in Ohio, Toledo, in United States. And it's called Blair Museum because this person, Mr. Blair, was fall in love with this kind of art, developed a big museum in the middle of Ohio. And the second is in Madrid, is the Museum of Romanticism. So I think that's going to be something very important for us next year. So I invite everybody to, well, of course, we are expecting you.
Yeah, of course. Well, excited to, and now I'm curious.
You Google. It's not easy to
I
get to
Google.
that. Yeah.
Elena, thank you so much. I loved learning about Santa Rita and the winery and the hotel and the history of the family. I think that the way you talk about it, obviously it's you are proud of the place, and you were talking about how proud everyone is at the all the team, everyone who are behind Santa Rita, and of course, I'm sure that's what the owners and the family can make you feel, right? And I'm sure that as a traveler, if someone is thinking of exploring the wines in Chile, it's something to consider, right? A place where you will be feeling this connection and this passionate family who's been in the country and so proud of Chile. So I love when this happens because we are, for us who are a part of our team also, we are always talking with travelers who say, okay, we want to go to South America. And they come back and they say the best part was the stories of the people we met on the way. So there is nothing, I mean, better for us to know that these places exist, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, thanks again, Elena. Next time, let's do this interview with a glass of wine
Yes, should be.
and exploring the.
And presential, not online.
Yes, it's going to be different for sure. Yeah. Next time when I'm in Chile, I will let you know and we can do
Yeah,
that.
of course. You are more than invited.
Thank you. And thank you again. Yes. And we'll be talking again soon about other news and renovations in Santa Rita. So thanks again, Elena.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. If you loved this episode, you can subscribe to the podcast and share it with a fellow traveler or, why not, an entrepreneur. You can find us at across-southamerica.com and on Instagram at Across South America. And if you're dreaming of your own handcrafted journey, reach out. We'd love to help. Gracias and see you soon. Nos vemos pronto. And let's keep the stories going.